What if the very love you gave freely became the chain that destroyed you? What if the greatest weapon used against you was your own heart? What if God gave you a gift so powerful that entire armies ran from you, and yet one whispered voice in the dark was enough to bring you to your knees? This is not just an ancient story. This is a warning. This is a mirror. And if you have ever loved someone who did not love you back the same way, you will feel every word of this.
If you're enjoying this, I encourage you to subscribe. Go ahead and click that button right there. It just takes a second and it really helps the channel.
Long ago, in the land of Canaan, during one of the darkest seasons in Israel's history, the people of God had fallen into a cycle of sin and suffering. They had turned away from the Lord again and again, and each time God allowed an enemy nation to rise over them, to humble them, to call them back. This time, it was the Philistines. For 40 years, the Philistines ruled over Israel with an iron hand. 40 years of oppression, 40 years of silence. But God was not finished. Before a child was even conceived, before a single breath was drawn, God was already writing a story of deliverance. A man named Manoah and his wife lived in the tribe of Dan. His wife was barren. She had never been able to have children. But one day, the angel of the Lord appeared to her with a message that would change everything. You are barren and childless, but you are going to become pregnant and give birth to a son. No razor may be used on his head because the boy is to be a Nazirite, dedicated to God from the womb. He will take the lead in delivering Israel from the hands of the Philistines. A Nazirite, set apart, consecrated, holy, the child is born. They name him Samson. And from the very beginning, there is something different about this boy. The Spirit of the Lord stirs within him. He grows. He becomes strong, not just in body, but in calling. God's hand is on him in a way that cannot be explained by muscle or training alone. This is divine strength. This is supernatural purpose. But Samson carries something else alongside his gift. A weakness, a pattern, a pull toward the wrong kind of love. Samson grows into a man, and almost immediately his eyes begin to lead him astray. He sees a Philistine woman in Timnah and demands that his parents arrange a marriage. His parents are troubled. Is there no acceptable woman among your relatives or among all our people? Must you go to the uncircumcised Philistines to get a wife? But Samson insists. What he does not know, what even his parents do not know, is that God is working even through this. He is using Samson's choices to create confrontations with the Philistines. God's sovereignty is so vast that he can work even through our flaws. On the road to Timnah, a young lion charges at Samson, and the Spirit of the Lord comes upon him in power. He tears the lion apart with his bare hands, as easily as one might tear a young goat. He tells no one. He simply walks on. Later, he passes by the carcass of that lion and finds something remarkable inside it, a swarm of bees and honey. He scoops the honey into his hands and eats it as he walks. And from this strange moment, a riddle is born. At his wedding feast, Samson poses a riddle to 30 Philistine men. Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. He wagers 30 linen garments and 30 sets of clothes. They have 7 days to solve it. They cannot figure it out, so they go to his bride. They threaten her. Coax your husband into explaining the riddle for us, or we will burn you and your father's household to death. And so she weeps. She pleads. She presses him day after day, crying and saying, "You hate me, you don't really love me." For 7 days, she presses him. And on the 7th day, he tells her, and she tells them. Before sunset on the 7th day, the men of the town give Samson the answer. What is sweeter than honey? What is stronger than a lion? Samson knows immediately what has happened. He is furious. If you had not plowed with my heifer, you would not have solved my riddle. The Spirit of the Lord comes upon him in power. He goes down to Ashkelon, strikes down 30 of their men, takes their belongings, and gives the garments to those who had answered the riddle. Then, burning with anger, he returns to his father's house, and his wife is given to one of his companions. This is only the beginning of the conflict. Samson's war with the Philistines escalates. He catches 300 foxes, ties their tails together in pairs, fastens a torch to each pair of tails, and sets them loose in the Philistine grain fields. The fields burn. The vineyards burn. The olive groves burn. The Philistines retaliate by burning his wife and her father to death, the very thing they had threatened her with. Samson attacks them viciously. They come after him in force. 3,000 men of Judah come to Samson, not to help him, but to hand him over. Don't you realize that the Philistines are rulers over us? What have you done to us? Samson agrees to be bound and handed over, but only on one condition, that they themselves will not attack him. They bind him with 2 new ropes and lead him to the Philistines. The Philistines shout as they see him coming, and then the Spirit of the Lord comes upon him in power. The ropes on his arms become like charred flax. The bindings drop from his hands. He finds the fresh jawbone of a donkey. He picks it up, and with it, he strikes down 1,000 men. 1,000 men with a jawbone. He stands over the battlefield and cries out, "With a donkey's jawbone I have made donkeys of them. With a donkey's jawbone I have killed 1,000 men." This is the height of Samson's power. This is the peak of his calling. But even here, in the moment of his greatest victory, you can sense the danger. Because Samson has never fully surrendered his heart to God. He uses God's power, but he does not fully walk in God's ways. And the enemy knows it. Years pass. Samson becomes a judge over Israel, leading the nation for 20 years. But his weakness never leaves him. He visits a prostitute in Gaza. The Philistines surround the city, planning to kill him at dawn. But Samson rises at midnight, takes hold of the city gates, the doors, the 2 posts, the bar and all, tears them loose, hoists them on his shoulders, and carries them to the top of a hill near Hebron. He is unstoppable. He is fearless. He is reckless. And then he falls in love. Her name is Delilah. She lives in the valley of Sorek, and Samson loves her. The Bible does not say she loves him. It says he loves her. That detail matters. That detail is everything. The rulers of the Philistines come to Delilah, 5 of them, 5 powerful men, and they make her an offer. See if you can lure him into showing you the secret of his great strength and how we can overpower him, so we may tie him up and subdue him. Each one of us will give you 1,100 shekels of silver, 5,500 shekels of silver, for 1 man, for 1 secret. Delilah takes the deal. She goes to Samson with a smile and a question wrapped in sweetness. Tell me the secret of your great strength and how you can be tied up and subdued." Samson plays with her. He lies. "If anyone ties me with 7 fresh bowstrings that have not been dried, I'll become as weak as any other man." She ties him. The Philistines are hiding in the room. She calls out, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you!" He snaps the bowstrings like threads of yarn. His strength is untouched. She presses again. He lies again, this time about new ropes. She ties him. The Philistines rush in. He snaps the ropes like thread. She presses a third time. He lies again, about weaving his hair into a loom. She does it. The Philistines rush in. He pulls free 3 times. 3 times she has tried to betray him. 3 times the Philistines have been hiding in the room. 3 times he has seen what she is doing. And still, he stays. Have you ever stayed somewhere you knew was destroying you? Have you ever kept going back to something or someone that you knew was pulling you away from God? Samson is not stupid. He knows what Delilah is doing, and he stays anyway, because love, or what he calls love, has blinded him more completely than any enemy ever could. Then Delilah says the words that will cost him everything. "How can you say, 'I love you,' when you won't confide in me? This is the 3rd time you have made a fool of me and haven't told me the secret of your great strength." Day after day she nags him. She presses him. She wears him down with her words until, the Bible says, he was sick to death of it, and Samson breaks. "No razor has ever been used on my head," he tells her, "because I have been a Nazirite dedicated to God from my mother's womb. If my head were shaved, my strength would leave me, and I would become as weak as any other man." Delilah knows immediately that he has told her the truth. She sends word to the Philistine rulers. "Come back once more. He has told me everything." They come. They bring the silver. That night, Delilah lulls Samson to sleep on her lap. She calls for a man to shave the 7 braids of his head. She begins to subdue him. His strength leaves him. "Samson, the Philistines are upon you!" He wakes up. He thinks, just as before, "I'll go out as before and shake myself free." He does not know that the Lord has left him. He does not know. Those 4 words may be the most heartbreaking in the entire story. The Philistines seize him. They gouge out his eyes. They take him down to Gaza, bind him with bronze shackles, and put him to work grinding grain in the prison. The mighty man of God, the one who tore lions apart, who carried city gates on his shoulders, who struck down 1,000 men with a jawbone, is now blind, bound, and broken, grinding grain in the dark. But notice this. Even in the darkest moment of the story, the Bible quietly says, "But the hair on his head began to grow again after it had been shaved." God was not done. Time passes in the prison. Samson grinds. He sits in the dark. He has nothing left. No strength, no sight, no freedom. Everything he had has been stripped away. And in that darkness, something begins to happen that could not have happened in the light of his victories. Samson begins to return to God. The Philistines are celebrating. They are gathered in the great temple of their god Dagon. Thousands of them, rulers and people alike, men and women, all rejoicing. "Our God has delivered our enemy into our hands," they shout. They call for Samson to be brought out to entertain them. He is led in by a servant, blind and stumbling, and placed between the 2 central pillars that hold up the entire temple. Samson asks the servant to let him feel the pillars. He places one hand on one pillar, one hand on the other, and then, for the first time in the story, Samson prays. Not a prayer of pride, not a prayer of strategy, a prayer of humility. Sovereign Lord, remember me. Please, God, strengthen me just once more, and let me with one blow get revenge on the Philistines. For my 2 eyes, he pushes. Let me die with the Philistines. The pillars crack, the roof collapses, the walls come down. The entire temple falls on the rulers and all the people inside. And the Bible records this. Thus he killed many more when he died than while he lived. His family comes and takes his body. They bury him in the tomb of his father. He had judged Israel for 20 years. And the story ends. Now, what does this mean for you? The story of Samson is not just a story about a strong man who made bad choices. It is a story about every one of us, because we all carry gifts from God, and we all carry weaknesses. And the question is, which one will we feed? The first lesson is this. Your greatest strength and your greatest weakness often live right next to each other. Samson's strength was supernatural, but his weakness was his heart, his inability to guard what he loved. God had given him everything he needed to fulfill his calling, but Samson kept walking toward the very thing that would destroy him. And so do we. We know what pulls us away from God. We know the patterns. We know the places we should not go. And sometimes, like Samson, we go anyway. Not because we don't know better, but because we want to. The second lesson is this. Not everyone who says they love you actually loves you. Delilah did not love Samson. She loved the silver. She loved what she could get from him. And Samson, blinded by his feelings, could not see it, even when the evidence was right in front of him. 3 times she tried to betray him. 3 times. And he stayed. Be careful who you give your secrets to. Be careful who you give your heart to. Not every person in your life is for you. Some are sent to find your weakness and exploit it. Wisdom is knowing the difference. The third lesson is this. God's grace is greater than your worst failure. Samson lost his eyes. He lost his freedom. He lost his dignity. He had wasted decades of divine calling on selfish pursuits. And yet, God heard his prayer. In the darkest moment, in the deepest prison, with nothing left to offer, Samson called out to God, and God answered. This is the gospel hidden in the Old Testament. You cannot fall so far that God cannot reach you. You cannot waste so much that God cannot restore purpose. The hair grew back. Grace grew back. And in his final act, Samson accomplished more than he ever had in his years of pride and power. The fourth lesson is this. God's purposes cannot be stopped, not even by our sin. From before Samson was born, God had a plan. And even when Samson wandered, even when he failed, even when he was sitting blind in a prison cell, God's plan was still moving forward. The Philistines thought they had won. They thought they had destroyed God's instrument. But they had only set the stage for God's final act. What the enemy means for your destruction, God can turn into your greatest moment of purpose. And here is where the story points beyond itself, to something greater. Samson was betrayed by someone he loved. He was handed over to his enemies. He was bound. He was humiliated. He suffered. And in his death, he accomplished a great deliverance. Does that sound familiar? Jesus, the true and greater Samson, was also betrayed by someone close to him. He was also handed over to his enemies. He was also bound, humiliated, and made to suffer. But unlike Samson, Jesus did not die because of his weakness. He died because of his love. And in his death, he accomplished the greatest deliverance in all of human history, not just for one nation, but for every person who has ever lived. He defeated not just an earthly enemy, but sin, death, and the grave itself. Samson's story ends with a collapsed temple and a burial. Jesus' story ends with an empty tomb. If you are reading this today and you feel like Samson, like you have wasted your gifts, like you have been betrayed, like you are sitting in the dark, grinding away in a prison of your own making, hear this: the hair grows back. God has not forgotten you. Your calling has not expired. Your failure is not the final word. There is still a prayer He is waiting to hear from you. There are still pillars He is waiting for you to push. Call out to Him just once more, just like Samson did, and watch what God can do, based on Judges 13 to 16.